Good morning. Good morning. Just starting in a couple of minutes as we come up to the 10 a.m. UK candle. I'm going to look at Australian dollar, US dollar. And just start drawing some lines. It's our daily. So Australian dollar, US dollar. Australian dollar is a great deal stronger. You can see it's just coming up to that quarter theory point and a daily line. So this is a very strong level for it. There was Australian dollar news at 2 a.m. UK time. So I probably won't be in time to take a trade at 11 because I want to draw my lines. Oh, look, and an hourly at that level as well on the previous candle. So let's see what we've got, and then we can get into some discussion. So this is the zone it's in. It's probed down a little bit. It's stuck on that hourly line at 462 as we come up to the hour. So you've got 3 candles going up, and it's pushing, it's just touched that 500 point. We haven't looked back left yet to see where it touched it before, because if we look at our currency strength meter, we can see it is, just refresh that, 6 bars to 2. So really we want to be taking calls only, but it's got to push past those levels onwards and upwards. So it's always a question of timing. Let's have a look at Forex Factory, just so I can show you Australian dollar, that red news out of the way. So it was GDP quarterlies, and we're now the 1st of September. So let's focus heavily on where we're going to be by Christmas with our income and progress and strategy. So that's where we are today. All day. Oh, OPEC meetings, significant because it's not timed announcements, affects Canadian dollar and oil, and the JMMC joint meeting committee, whatever's, but that can make things volatile on the Canadian dollar. And then please note tomorrow the non-farm payroll, so biggest events in the monthly Forex calendar. So I'm going to come back to HourGlass just to have a look at the dollar says a put, because as I say, you should only be taking a call on the Australian dollar. That's saying a put, but you can see it's just sort of ranging in that mid-level on the strength of the dollar against the other currencies, and then come down to our AUDUSD, 79 to 34. So I don't really myself want to be taking puts. It's up at 462. So there's our quarter theory at 500. It's so strong against the US dollar that I only want to be looking at, I'm just going to mark that for us. I only want to be taking calls. But if you remember, when we come back to our trading view, it's right up at an hourly and a daily and quarter theory. So very strong pressure on it to push through. So again, it's a matter of timing. So hit put score of 4. It's overbought. You're on the hour. We did have the 3 candles up. Just come back over to trading view, and you see how it's leveled off here. That's on the hourly. I haven't finished drawing my lines yet. So do with that what you will while I finish drawing my lines, because it's stuck in this zone at the moment. So where was I? You can't draw lines on these little bits because there's no fat on the candles, no wax on the candles. So we have to use the one before. And then I had a question in my inbox about timing on rollovers and fixed and non-fixed time. So I was just going to go over that again today. So there's my hourly off this previous one, because I can't do this indecision, this little, I can't remember if they're called evening stars or hammerheads, or I never know all the names of the candles, but they are specific shapes with a meaning. They can either mean the price is pushing down or up, but you can see quite clearly it's probed down but failed to get down, so it's trying to push down, but it didn't manage it. But what we've got going on here at 478, I've got an hourly, which is the yellow, you might not be able to see it quite clearly, and a white line, which is the daily and the quarter theory. So it's a hell of a lot of pressure on it. And let's just have a look where it reached this level before. And what it did at that level. So it used that level back in August, and it well, after it had broken right, punched right through, it obviously dropped, and that was about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 4 a.m. UK time. Came back down. There's a daily level there, and then carried on its downward descent. So it has formed. It has been back at that level. It has been at this level before. There was some other news there, 27th of August. But the news today on it at 3 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. doesn't seem to affect it until there's 6 a.m., 7, 8. So it's just pushed up very strongly afterwards. So now I've done the hourly, I'll come down to the 15-minute. Let's see what happened on HourGlass, what the price is. Put score of 3, so it did make a move. I don't know if any of you took that. I was reluctant anyway, because it's 79 to 34, but as we said, it had all that huge pressure. It's tested it once. So oh, and there it goes. So I'd rather take a call on this. It's coming down to our midline, but we need to see what level it's going to find before taking that call, and we want it in these oversold areas. And I do know we know we have to refresh our HourGlass. If you are, I like to use it as confirmation. I still do. I didn't like it when it was glitching, obviously, and I missed it when I couldn't use it, so I've got very comfortable with it. So the dollar is a put. on this 5 minute. Oh, and look, it's the 200 EMA has gone red on the dollar, on the US dollar. So the Australian dollar should increase in strength if the US dollar is weakening. And back down, I'll finish doing the lines and see where we are with taking some trades. Les had to go and do something else this morning, so I said I'd do the session for him. So 81 to 36, it says put, it's coming down. It's 447, it's called it 463. It's 4 minutes past, so you would have won that trade, but these are more risky trades. And there's your 200 EMA there. And if you read what the chart's done, then it's come up to the Bollinger Bands. It's what we call surfed the Bollinger Bands. There's 10 a.m. 3. I always get my times muddled up and I don't like changing it down here anymore, otherwise it messes it all up. So that's 9 a.m. London, I think that is there. And then it's used the rolling average, exponential moving average, as a line of support, which is what this line is. It's a rolling line of support. So it moves according to what length what the Bollinger Bands are set at, and it's called exponential moving average. No, it's not. It's the midline of the Bollinger Band. Sorry. So, but it is a rolling line of support and resistance. So it's come down now on the 5 past to 437. It's not quite at that lower level at the bottom. The next level down, I haven't finished drawing my lines, is 412 down there, because sometimes with these major currencies they can dip a bit and then carry on. You see here, dip slightly. If you look left, it's because it's taken the taken the 200 EMA as its level of support down here. So it's come slightly below the moving average, the line in the middle of the Bollinger Bands, and it's just wicked off that level on the 5 minute. Now again, you know me by now, I don't like to take trades outside the quarters, Evan Cabral's market timing. So it's a little wick off there. It's still red. 444, it's given a call, so I prefer to wait for 15 to half hour. You see, it's not quite in the oversold area down there, so you know, patience rather than just, you know, dashing at all these trades, just in case, because price, you know, can, as we know, move down to different levels. So just want to come back to finish doing my lines. Participants can now see your screen. I didn't know you couldn't see my screen. I don't know why that popped up. So it's off that hourly line at 465, and it's breaking. I'm on the 15 minute, breaking through that daily. So we need to look at our next levels. So let me just take off some of these. So I'm looking possibly for a trade at, I'll just move some of these down. I haven't been on this currency for a while, but it's I'll just tidy that up. Can use the others as we go along. Okay, I'll use those two when we get to the 5 minute. So we've got to work out, because our stronger lines of support are going to be the whites and the yellows, and that lower level is 354 there. That's moving down nicely. As I say, you know, it is a little bit more risky when you take these trades when they're so strongly trending the other way. So I've got my upper level. I've got a ceiling there with the hourly at 467. And I'm not going to bother to do that little blue one. I'm just going to mark, because this is live price, I'm just going to mark its level at the moment at 411, and that's it. So that's my 15-minute. And then I'll do the 5. Take that one off. That's tidied up our lines. Red for resistance, party pink. So I'll put that on the I've got pivots there. I'm going to put that one there because I've got the red pivot. I can use that. I don't have to have more lines on. Change that one to blue, and then we're done. So my blue 5-minute line, I'm going to put, I've got one as support on that previous 5 minutes, which has become resistance on the open. This green cell, this put candle, which is breaking through that daily, probing down to that 15-minute level at 414, which if you see to the left, it's used it there, it's used it there and there, and then it's used the daily, and now it's probed down, but it's failed to get any further. So we've now got a little zone going on between 437, and remember these are lower time frames, and 415, and then you can take a vertical line, and we do have an indicator for this, Evan Cabral's. You can put the lines on. There's our 15-minute, and then I can move that along and make that my half hour, and then the hourly, so I can see what I'm doing on my candles. So now it's opened on the 10 past candle as a buy. Let's see what HourGlass tells us. It says call at 428, somewhere in between the two levels. Call score of 3. Failed to get further down on the momentum indicators, but is making, that's why it's dropped to a 2, because it's making that move up. And that's what I meant a bit earlier on, where I said price can sometimes on any pair, especially these big currency, the majors, drop through that line, as indeed it's done there, because it wanted to find that 15-minute level. That's the one it's decided to choose. And that, you know, the 15 minute trade can sometimes work, can sometimes, like all of them, not work, because we can see this is, can you see these red lines in green? They're like a train line now, tram line. They've kind of leveled off a bit. So it could mean that this is falling back further for the half hour, and then a turn for the call, because our famous imbalance is sitting all down here, and price will want to clear that out. Same thing, from that red probe there up to there is money in the system, and this is what Les tells us is, you know, the fair market gap. So it's the price gap. So you've got buys but no sells in there, and it's caused imbalance. So I'm going to come back to my trading view in a minute. Let me just 78% on here. I've got it all set up, just monitoring what I want to do with it. It was 80% a minute ago. Euro JPY and Euro USD, not trading those because it's London, or JPY is at 88 and USD JPY is at over the counter, trading against the broker. We never ever do that. You're betting against the broker. You don't want to be doing that because of the manipulation. OTC, over the counter, which is what you see at weekends. So don't trade anything if it says OTC, which is why today I'm doing AUDUSD. So now I'm going to work out what I'm going to do, and we can see it's dropping back now, and I just want to measure it's about, so it did 25 pips up to here, but has failed to break through. at the moment. But I've still got it on this 415 area. So price will want to come back down to this level. We'll want to come down to that 250, because on a bigger scale, this is a break and a retest. But I've still got it. You see that blue line here? There's the 200 moving average that we use. So it's still coming up very strongly. So I'm going to look for, let's see what HourGlass tells us. Let me look at the 1 minute first. 14 minutes past. Just got it, blue lines of support. Got it off that 15 minute. Let's see if HourGlass gives us a call. Call score of 5. Call score of 4. 402. 398. 15 minutes past, oversold, 200 EMA in our favor. Let me refresh the screen and look at the currency strength meter, but we do know what it's doing. Oh, it's dropped back a bit. There's 5 bars. HourGlass says a call at 401 and it's a call score of 6. It's wicked off that level at 382 there. It's at 394 at the moment. This is the 1 minute. Let me, oh, I can move that along. This is the 1 minute, just to show you. So there is that 200 moving average at 374. It has formed a little blue pivot there, 392. Come back to the 5 minute. 391, it's now at 403. Look at, it's got a line of resistance at that 415 that we were discussing. So it did close through, it did close the other side of that 400. So it's just could carry on down to the half hour. HourGlass 70 to 39. It's just at the bottom there. Call score of 6. Still pushing down, because this is an algorithm, but you know, we do have to be wary of what's happened here on the left. 382. And it's deciding it's pushing down at the moment. So that's why we like to wait to the half. Oh, there it is off that 200, 374. But that's why we can see it's right along the bottom here. And what we want are the lines coming up on our stochastic and RSI, our momentum indicators. So it's taken the 200 moving average as its support level. And this line, the 200 moving average, is a line greatly favored by professional traders. So it's up at 386, 383. Just come to the 1 minute and show you the bottoming out. So a little bit, so it took a level further down. So that's why you have to read your lines and be aware of that. If you're using a rollover function, then you know, you've got to be ready to roll over. And remember something, there's the green tick. Well, it's just flashed off on the pivot. You've got to be prepared to roll over. Remember, you only get 30%. So you've got to judge your timing accurately, because look, this is sort of slowly hovering around this level. And Australian dollar is now 67 to US dollar 40. And it's still hovering along that bottom there. So that trade I took will have, oh, I'm not out of it yet. Just, I was going to say I will have lost that one. So I took a call on the 50. Yes, I've lost that because I took a call on the 15-minute, which perhaps wasn't the most sensible thing to do. Now look at it. Where is it now? Now it's gone up. That just happened to me yesterday. I got in on a 3-minute fixed time and then missed it by a few seconds, and I think it's done it again to me today. 5 minutes ago. Let's see what the new one is at 20 past. It has wicked off that level. But you can see the Bollinger Bands are turning downwards. These inner ones are the tighter settings, I think. So that will be, I think, I can't remember what the settings are, 18, 18, 20, and so that inner one will turn first. Symbol info 20, that's the 20, and this was this 22? Settings 25. So 18, 20, and 25. So your inner one will turn first because it's tighter on the seconds before the as the indicator comes up. So it's still saying it wants to turn, but now we're at the 20 past. We really want to wait to the half past, which is perhaps what I should have done, because I discussed it a lot that the half hour and the hour are the stronger ones, although I did miss that one, that trade I took yesterday on the half hour, but it was just a few seconds of timing. It was a very rare one, really. So I was going to stick with AUDUSD, but we could see what's happening on. So it's back at the 367, went up to 381 again. Let me just see what the other currencies are doing. 88 on all JPY. Don't want to do the euros. So that leaves me with, where's USD JPY? Oh, okay. 84%. It's off over the counter now. So just come back to oh, why does it say that up there? And understand, and yet it's got it here. I don't think I'd go for that. I think it's saying over the counter behind there, but it doesn't say it on here. Well, it's not over the counter then, but why isn't it showing up there if I cross that off? I'll take that off there then. Oh well, I can't figure that one out. So I'll come back to Australian dollar, I think. $361. So it's gone right down to 349. And here's our hourly at 351. And we're now coming up to the half hour, but it's now broken below that 200 moving average. Take that off. So if we look at the hourly live candle, which of course is still in progress, then we can see that it opened as a strong sell and it's come down to our 350, which it's used before over here as resistance on here. But it's pushing down very strongly. And the 15-minute, the same, off that 15-minute level, 415 down to the 350. So again, I'd quite like to look at this for a call. It does say hidden bull. We're right down in the oversold. This is our divergence. $25 past. So I've got a zone 329, 338, 350. That's slow. And this is on the 1 minute, by the way. It's just stalling out on that area, but it is below that 200 moving average. So we have to be wary of that. So again, a call score of 5 at the 25 past candle. I want to wait for the half past. 345 is that level there. But remember, we've still got all this going on right down to that 221 area, 222 down here. Refresh it up here. So I want to take a call at the half hour, is my inclination. It's a bit slow, sorry. Well, it's not my fault, I don't think. Dollars a put, which should be good for, the Australian dollar. The question I had about rollovers and things, the clock had disappeared. If you're on non-fixed time, then you won't get the full 3 minutes. You'll only get that on fixed time on your broker. And if you see the clock at the top saying 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes, you really want to click the button on the right to go back to give you nearer to the full 3 minutes. When you roll over, you'll only get 30% of the time. The brokers have changed the rules, and you've got 45 seconds up until your expiry time that's noted to decide on whether you're going to do rollover. And that's the rules, really. 2 minutes 18 to go before our half past. It's in the oversold area, oversold, 200 moving average in our favor, call score of 6, a pivot line at 343 there. The only thing that concerns us is what's going on the left here, and it's 63 to 41. So what the algorithm can't dictate is this issue here, that this could want to come down for the hour to clear that out, or it has to give a little retrace sometimes, because what we've had here is a break. So it's a break and a retest and then carry on down. It's lost some strength. It's 63 to 41, but it will have to, it's right on the Bollinger Band. It's on a pivot. Let me look at I'm going to come down to the 1 minute, 28 past. It's sandwiched between two hourlies. So I've got a level at 328. That's the only tricky thing. There's 345, and there's the 200 AMA there as well. I'm not going to get in before the half past. I don't want to do that myself. See where our candle's finishing. It's at 333. Okay, so I'm going to take a 333. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to press the button. I'm just hovering over it. I want to see how low this goes down. Oh, 29.45. It's just wicked off that. HourGlass. A call at 353. Hang on, I can't see my timing. Right, 340, I'm in at that. You have to look down here for your timing. Okay, so I got in at 340 and that was at 17 seconds past the 30-minute mark. HourGlass gave us a call score of 6, oversold, 200 moving average. It wicked off it. It's right on the Bollinger Bands. We do know we have this sort of issue, you know, with these hourlies and the 200 moving average, but I'm prepared because these lines have widened. We come to the 5-minute. It's just bottomed out. It's on the 5-minute, sorry, and it's just above our 352 hourly, so it is using this as support. So I've done as much as I can on that trade. I'm well into profit now. That's at 81%. So even though I lost that the first one, I'm not too far behind on making up my situation today. So I'm very pleased with this trade, and I don't know if any of you have taken that. Remember to post your results, please, to help me and Les grow the team and show people this works. And also what I want to really teach you and point out is, you know, I take great joy now in the patience of it. You know, I've so been there, as you know, I've been around a number of years now, and I've so been there with that addiction to keep pressing the button and the greed of like pulling the handle and, you know, just thinking, oh, I'm going to get in this and get in that. And it's just not what we want to be doing. It's just not why we are here to do this. So I've got 50 seconds left in this trade. You can see it on the right hand side on the clock. And we'll just see this one play out. It's now up at 375, so that's moved up very nicely. So what I did wrong on the previous one was I took a 15-minute one. So the 15 and the 45s are not my favorites. And if you come on my sessions, increasingly we'll discuss the setups. You know, this is a repetitive process. That's what gives you the confidence. It's like learning to drive. We follow the same procedure. We don't get frustrated with that, because the joy is in the journey and in the safe arrival at the destination. In this case, you know, winning trades. And I really enjoy reading the charts and sitting patiently doing my work. And if you treat it as work, you'll get quality work. You don't rush at your jobs, whatever your jobs are. There we are. I've cleared that one very nicely. So that's me done for this session for Les. So it was it's 1-1 for me, and there it's moved up off that hourly as we discussed. So what it's doing now is it's done its break. It's doing its retest back before it carries on down. And the way we know it will be carrying on down is by looking at our 200 moving average, how it moves up, and in our currency strength meter with the bars changing. So that's it from me for today. And I do thank you all for joining. I do appreciate your time. It's so much more fun than sitting here talking to myself with a recording. And if I can help you at all, please let us know. We've got more things me and Les are doing. He's brought us some fantastic new stuff. It's all his innovation, and I'm very grateful to him for that. So I'll see you all tomorrow morning for non-farm payroll day for a session before then. So have a good day trading.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're very
Thanks.
welcome. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.